Does everybody know what these are? These are beehives. This is where bees live. This is where they bring the honey. We're going to take a look inside today. But before we do, I think it's important that we put on proper protection. I'll tell you a little bit about some of the tools that we're going to be using. We'll take a look inside the hives. And if we're lucky, maybe we'll be able to see the queen. Let's get started. All right, before we take a look around the hives, let's go over some of the things that I'm going to be using, some of the tools. First is my Hive tool. I stick that on the pants. I keep a magnet in my pocket so that I can carry it with me at all times. Easy to get to. It's a frame hanger. This allows me to hang the frames on the side of the hive while I'm working the hive. I try to keep an empty box just in case I need it. This is a hive body, or it can be called a honey super. This is where the bees would store their honey or their brood, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I keep another extra box with some empty frames in it, just in case we need them. A lighter. Very important tool that I have is my smoker. This is what I use to blow smoke in the hive right before I enter it. Bees don't talk to each other verbally. They communicate through pheromones, through scents. When I enter the hive, if I don't put smoke in the hive, the bees are going to release a scent that's going to say, hey, there's somebody in here, it's not safe, we need to be on the lookout. Puts them to attack mode. That'll make the bees chase after me or anything else that gets near their hive. What the smoker does is the smoker, when I put smoke up in the hive, will mask that scent, it will hide it. The bees will say, hey, wait a second, there's a forest fire, there's something going on. What we need to do is not look for somebody to attack, we need to eat our honey and get out of here. So that will put the bees down on the honey. They'll start gorging themselves with honey, which slows them down, makes it less likely that they're going to attack me, and it lets me perform a great hive inspection. The most important thing would be my veil. This keeps the bees from stinging me in the face. Now you notice today I'm not wearing a bee suit. Most beekeepers wear a full suit, and I have one. We also wear gloves sometimes. I've got mine over here. And if the bees get agitated today, or they look like they might sting me, or maybe I might even get stung, wouldn't that be a treat if you get to see that? But if the bees are antsy, then what I'll do is I'll put on the entire suit or just the gloves. But right now I'm going to start with the veil. I've got long sleeves, long pants, I should be fine. So without any more delay, let's get inside the hives. First things first, let's light the smoker. For fuel, we just use pine needles. There's a lot of them around. Makes it easy to reload when we start to run out, because the last thing we want to do is run out of smoke. Sweet gumballs, they're not good for anything. Maybe for the bees. Ah, there it goes. We have smoke. Right, let's tuck those needles down in there. Beautiful. Let's go visit the bees. Okay, the first thing I want to do is let the bees know that I'm coming. I've got a screen bottom board down here, so it's open all the way up into the hive, so we'll throw some smoke up under there. Go around the front, throw a little more smoke. Now they know I'm coming. Now they expect a foreigner in their hive. Let's take a look inside. First we take off the roof. Next we'll take off the inner cover. Now we're going to have to use the hive tool, because the bees use something called propolis, which is a glue that they make out of tree sap to glue their hive together. Just heard the seal break. This is a bucket feeder. This is what I use to feed the bees, and today we're going to be giving the bees some more syrup. That's what the blue jug is. And there's some of the girls right there. So we'll set that aside for right now. Let's take off this feeder cover. Some more girls right there. Now, if you didn't know, give them a little bit more smoke. If you didn't know, most of the bees in a hive are girls. Boys don't do much. They sit around, they eat food, and they wait to mate with the queen so that they can make some eggs. Other than that, they don't do a whole lot. That's generally where they keep the honey. Now we're getting down into the brood box. This is where the queen is going to live. We keep this screen on here to make sure that the queen doesn't come up and lay eggs where we keep the honey. The worker bees can fit through this screen. The queen, she cannot. There we go. A few more girls. All right, so let's give them a little bit more smoke. We'll send the bees down to the bottom so that we can get our hands in here. Let's take a look at some of the frames. First we want to do is remove this box, get down to the next one. We start at the bottom and work our way up. Give this a little bit more smoke. Let them know we're here. And let's take a look and see what we have. First thing we have to do is we have to break it loose because the bees, they glue everything down. And make sure everything's tight. There we go. Uh-oh. Hurt that bee, that's not a good sign. When you hurt a bee, they all start wanting to sting. Let's put some smoke down there. So let's take a look now. Here they come. All right, what do we have here? There's some bees. What we want to do is we want to look for the queen. We want to see what she's doing. You see all this orange up in here. That's pollen. That's from the flowers. If you see anything shiny, I don't know whether you can see it on the camera, but that's going to be normally nectar. In this hive and the hive next door, I've been feeding them sugar water so that they can build up stores for the winter. So that's sugar water. And I make my sugar water blue so that I can always tell the difference between sugar water and honey. I certainly don't want to eat sugar water. But I do not see the queen on this frame, so we'll set that aside and we'll go down to the next one. Quite a few bees in here, so we will send them back down to the bottom. Let's see if we can find the queen here. Now this frame here is a frame filled with brood. All of those capped cells, that's not honey, those are baby bees, and they're ready to hatch. So the queen has gone through here and she's laid her eggs. They usually lay between 1,000, 1,500, and sometimes 2,000 eggs a day is what they can lay in peak season. We're getting near the end of the season. She's still laying pretty good. But all of those are going to hatch soon. Now the average hive has between 60 and 80,000 bees in the hive. It's a pretty big population. And of those 60 or 80,000 bees, there's probably about 200 boy bees. Got a bee chasing my hand. So we'll put some smoke on my hand and we'll smoke the hive again so that attack pheromone goes away. Now you may see a bee going after my face, and that's why I wear the mask. That's what bees want to attack. They want to get you. They want to get you in the face where it's going to hurt. I do not see a queen on here. Well, now that is a queen cell. That looks like they're trying to build a cell for a new queen. Now, I'm not going to allow that to happen this time of year, so I'm going to go ahead and pick that right off. Nothing in it anyways. It's an empty one. But it's something that I don't want right now, because bees, they like to reproduce their hive, and to do that, they build a new queen cell. A queen will hatch, and then I don't want to say all, but half of your bees will fly away. And I've worked hard to give these bees a good home. I don't want them all to fly away. Now, today, for some reason, they're not happy that I'm going through here. Usually they're a lot quieter. Today the bees are making quite a bit of noise, which tells me that they're not very happy. And that's a nice frame. More brood. We have some more nectar. We have a lot more pollen. Back in there. And let's go on to the next frame. Again, we're looking for the queen. When I find her, I'll show her to you. Hopefully. Sometimes we don't find her, because she likes to hide in the dark. And I do not see her here. I do not see her there. I do not see her anywhere. Who said that? Is that Dr. Seuss? I think that was Dr. Seuss. Nothing there. Let's go on to the next one. They're starting to go out to my hands again, so we'll give it all a little bit more smoke. And we'll bring the next one up. Do not see the queen on there. Let's go to the next one. Hey, ladies, don't mind me. I'll be in and out pretty quick. Now you'll notice, see if we can get a look at this. Some of these bees with the pollen, you can see it right on their legs. It looks like little Cheeto puffs. It looks like they've been hitting the goldenrod. All right, we have more empty comb here. We have some more eggs and some more pollen. I still do not see the queen. Now here we have some freshly built comb. You notice how this other comb is kind of dingy looking. This is nice and white, brand new. So the queen ought to be laying on here pretty soon. I don't see any eggs down in the frame, so that tells me she's not here. We're going to go on to the next frame and then get into the next box. Maybe we'll find her in there. Okay, they're just now starting to draw that comb out. The foundation is black. That's what I put in there. It's plastic and it's covered in wax, and then the bees start drawing it out and making honeycomb out of it. We give them the pattern to start with, and they finish it up. Now in nature, they don't need a pattern. They'll just build honeycomb and it looks just like this. I just try to give them a helping hand, because that helps them build up their hive quicker and go out and start gathering nectar. Okay, let's put the next box on here. Put these guys back in their house. And we'll go ahead and swap those first two frames out. Usually I keep them in the same order, but in the interest of time, we'll just put this one on that side. All right. I'll take this off. Let's give them a little bit of smoke. And we'll give them their medium box back. Don't want to smash any bees if we don't have to. Because let me tell you, nothing releases that attack pheromone faster than smashing some bees. Okay, they're drawing this comb out. Do not see the queen. You see these bees flying around my hand? Those are guard bees. They're starting to get wise and saying, hey, wait a second, there's a human in here. I do not see the queen on there. I do not see the queen on there. I see him starting to store some pollen, and you can see that honey nectar that's going in there is blue. That is because that's what I'm giving them. I'm giving them blue nectar. I'm going to make sure that when I gather honey off of my hives, that I don't just fill my jars with blue water. That wouldn't be good. I do not see the queen on there. Nor do I see the queen on here. I see a drone cup. Oh, there's the queen. There she is right there. She has a little bit of pink paint on her. There she is right there. I don't know whether you can see her, whether the camera's focusing or not. Okay, now we want to give our bees some more food. So what we'll do, we'll open up their feeder. This is sugar syrup. This is half sugar and half water all mixed together, and then I put some blue food coloring in it so that when the bees store it, I don't ever confuse this with honey. Now the trick to this is to turn it over quickly. Then it won't leak out. There's a small screen in the bottom that lets just a little bit out. There we go. And there you go. We've seen the bees, we've seen where they live, how they live, where the queen lays her eggs, where the bees store their honey. We found out that there's about 60 to 80,000 bees, maybe more, inside every hive. The queen lays between 1,000 and 2,000 eggs per day during peak season. We saw where they store the nectar, how they turn it into honey, and we also saw where we feed them when we have to going into the wintertime. Thanks for watching.